For the love it's all that's holy, please tell me that was you screwing with me, LFT. Please tell me that was.
I was so confused.
Are you logged in again?
No, I'm not. Oh my life, I'm not. I'm holding my breath that I was even able to talk right now.
Listen, Linda, I'm really mad. I'm trying to hit everything and nothing's working. And I'm like, something's up. Hi, Cait.
Hi.
Welcome.
I'm going to wave real quick, but I'm going to keep my camera off because I got these big old headphones on my ears.
Why is this not working? Hi, everyone. Let me get back. Nay. Oh, Demi, Glenjamin. Nay, thanks for being here. Jen the Hooligan.
Hi, Nay.
Thank you for being here.
Ooh, Demi, K-Brave.
Oh, that's so nice of you guys. Thank you. Yeah, we're working on the 7 people that lost their lives in Oklahoma, and it is heavy, heavy, heavy. First and foremost, we want to send our love, respect, and prayers out to the family of the victims. They're still getting, they don't even know the details yet. They don't even know all the things. Hi, Linda. I'm sorry. I didn't say hi to you. They don't even know all the details of what happened to their family members yet. So we're sending them our love and prayers and strength for this very difficult time. I don't know. I mean, this is one that is multi-layered again, that we seem to get ourselves into, and easily preventable, in my opinion, if this ass hat would have just stayed in jail.
Yeah.
Jesse McFadden is who we're talking about. And we've been fairly busy this afternoon with Cait and without Cait, just trying to get notes straight and trying to understand some of the timeline and go through and research some of the stuff. And it's hard, you guys. It's really like a lot's happened in a little bit of time, and trying to piece it together. And Cait has made a connection with some of the family. And she actually hosted, and I'll let her talk about that. She hosted someone on her channel just yesterday. So please go back and watch her live from last night. It's super important regarding this. And I know she's got a couple of other lives coming up, hopefully with the family. But I'll let her talk about that. That's going to happen on her channel. Cait does crime.
Thank you.
But Cait, why don't you tell us what happened last night?
So I went live about the case because I was just, I was like blown away. Mm-hmm. And I actually started, doing quick trial recaps to end my stream. And while I was doing that, the aunt 4 of the victims came into my chat and started talking to me and wanting to get their story out. She is okay. So along with the 2 girls that were missing, Jesse McFadden's wife Holly and her 3 children were killed, and she is Holly's aunt, so Holly's dad's sister. And she came up and she gave a lot of information, so I feel like we'll check all of the boxes as we go through, but she really wanted to make it known how much Holly loved her children and that they don't believe she knew to an extent what really was his history. She believes that he was lying to her from what she told them. She told them somebody was lying on him and falsely accusing him, and which I do believe she believed that because she was actually going to testify for him in the upcoming trial, which was Monday. Supposed to be Monday. And they just they've been getting a lot of negative comments about her decision, which it's a difficult situation because he was a registered SO, but nobody knows what he was actually telling her or what he fed her. Nowadays people are always I think since the Me Too thing happened too, it's become very do you believe this? Is it people accusing people? It's kind of and I feel like it was one of those situations that maybe she had felt that he was falsely accused because that's what he was leading her to believe from what it sounded like,
right?
What he had told her family, but she was aware that he was an SO, but they weren't together that long. They were only. He got out of jail in 2020 and she wasn't divorced till 2022. They don't really know how long they were talking for, but they weren't together that long. So
did she visit him in jail? Is that one of the...
She said they're not sure, but they think that he may have had some kind of communication with her while he was still in jail. And it makes me wonder if she knew the girl who was accusing him, or you know what I mean, why she was testifying, and maybe thought maybe he had her convinced that she was lying and trying to whatever. But she was going to testify for him, and they're all really confused, honestly. They all just kind of found out they thought, I think she just got married in May. They didn't know that she was going to testify for him. They said there was some red flags, as if he was really controlling. And I also wonder if she was afraid of him, maybe.
That's what I was wondering too. So quick backstory. Jesse, in case you guys don't know, Jesse McFadden, it's now known, we didn't know this yesterday, but we suspected, but it's now known that he took the lives of his wife, Holly, her 3 kids, 3 teenagers, Riley, 17, Michael James, 15, Tiffany, 13. Tiffany's best friend was Ivy Webster and Brittany Brewer. They were all over to spend the night, go to the mall, hang out. and they all wound up deceased by early Monday morning, including Jesse McFadden. The thing that people are struggling with is that Jesse McFadden is a registered SO who was spending almost 20 years in jail for our first degree RAPE, grand larceny, and while in there, got a cell phone in there and was texting a minor. He was supposed to go to court yesterday morning to appear before a judge and a jury for texting the minor, who, by the way, is an amazing, incredible, and strong individual. And we want to send her our love, strength, and respect as well. She is going through an immense amount right now. Prior to the deaths, he texted apparently his own mother and said he was going to do something like this. And then he texted his former victim, whatever. I don't want to say that. That's dismissive, but that's not what I meant. And blamed her for everything. This is all going to be on you. And she's been putting the text out on Facebook.
That's so heavy too, because she's probably gonna like think all the time now, like, maybe if I didn't come forward, this wouldn't have happened.
I don't know. Did you see her? Have you seen her picture?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Holly and her are twins.
Yeah, they do look alike. I didn't think about that, but they do look a lot alike.
Yeah. Also, speaking of twins, apparently they lost twins 6 months ago, right? Wasn't that something that Lynn talked about as well, that she was pregnant with twins and lost the twins? That could have been an additional stressor for him. We are not finding excuses, but we will find, motive in this, but there is no excuse for this. None whatsoever. And many people are judging Holly for putting her children in harm's way with this guy. Like Cait said, we don't really know how much she knew or didn't know about this guy, and who knows what he was feeding her, and who knows what kind of fear he was placing in her in order to keep her where she was.
And it makes me wonder if they had if they had all known each other before he went to jail, because where did he get this girl's number? And if she was seeing that, I wonder if they were in a friend group or something. I mean, there's definitely some more stuff that
Baby Crumbs, thank you guys for coming in. Butterfly kisses. I didn't say hi to you guys, but we love you and thank you for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. So yeah, we're just trying to now put together the pieces of a timeline to figure out who was where and when this past weekend. And I'll tell you what, it's not easy to figure out right now. Thankfully, actually, the people who are giving us the most information, God bless them, are Brittany and Ivy's parents, who have little to no information, but whatever they have, they're putting out there. I can't imagine the guilt that they have right now, knowing that they sent their daughter off to her best friend's house, unknowing.
They had hung out there many a times before, and there was nothing to cause them concern. I mean, they didn't know. I mean, you can't. I mean, at this point, I suggest people do it, but you can't look up every, who wants to look into every friend, the parents of every friend your kid has. You know what I mean? You can't. It's probably on the safer side to do that nowadays, but it's just not.
Well, one of the things that's interesting is he wasn't listed on the offender list.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Wow.
That
And
is
he
one of the
was
things I got
at the
off for the
school.
victims.
He was at the school several times. He went to their
Yeah.
games all the time. He was, you know,
He was a
like
fixture there.
a fixture. Yep.
Mm-hmm. He also technically couldn't have underage children at the house. Well, I know. That's another whole thing that I'm confused about.
Somebody commented on my video and said that in Oklahoma, you're allowed if they are stepchildren, your biological children, or there was another thing, but like by law, if they are your children and if you're married to the person and it's their children, that they are allowed to be around them. I mean,
Okay.
which I don't know if that's true or not. Like that's what somebody said, but if it is, that's crazy to me. And the aunt was even saying to me, like, I can't believe his parole officer goes there once a month, and how would she not notice that the kids were living there? You know, they have rooms and things like that. So I'm kind of thinking maybe it is true that they're allowed around children as long as it's by marriage or your biological kids.
I want to look that up. I think that's an interesting point. K-Braze,
I just
didn't they
looked it
say
up.
get out early and getting charges overlooked again from? Yes. I think I believe it was a COVID release, but I'm not sure. I mean, would have been right around that time. So, Roll Tide. From what I've heard and read so far, I don't think it should be laid at the feet of the parents. Oh, I agree. The guy was evil. Agreed. 100%. Pure and simple. Just, Roll Tide. Thank you for 100%. 100%. It should not ever be blamed on the parents. My point is that the parents probably carry an element of guilt, but by no means should they. Hell no.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, it's just unrealistic to have to look up all your kids' friends' parents and know that. And even her family, all right, so they didn't even know he was a sex offender. Oh, sorry, should I say SO? An
You're
SO
fine.
at first. Because she said that at Holly's dad's job, they were going to hire a guy who was an SO, but he claimed that, you know, it was like a high school thing and they were only like a 2-year age difference and whatever. And it was a long time ago. So he took it upon himself to look up this guy because he wanted to check him out. And as he was looking up this guy, he finds Holly's husband and is like, oh my gosh, he's an SO. Like they had no idea. She didn't tell them.
But like he wasn't on the local registry. Like when you look up, when you look up his address, he's not listed as an SO.
That's crazy. It was his grandparents' house too. Maybe that's why his house wasn't listed.
Well, he should still be registered, correct? Or no?
I would think so.
And Roll Tide, no offense taken. I am really glad that you said it because I didn't want to interpret or put something out that could be interpreted as such. So I'm really, really glad you said something. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Him messaging in prison had somehow messed him up. Well, yeah. I mean, he was supposed to go to my opinion is the court date yesterday was probably the final catalyst. This was planned out. It's obvious this was planned out, and we'll go through the timeline and show you some of the things, but I just lost my train of thought and what I was going to say. All right. I don't know. It wasn't important. But we do have a rough timeline of how things went down. We are not certain the cause of death yet. We have a pretty good idea. But I do know that, and I'm struggling to say this out loud because I think this is so horrible, but I do know that dental records were required. Hi, Rena. Thank you for stopping by. Gosh, I appreciate you. I was just watching some of your videos the other day. As a matter of fact, I was watching.
Somebody commented me the section of Oklahoma law that pertains to like schools and SOs, if you want me to read it.
Hell yeah.
So it says, here's a section of laws that pertains to schools. Doesn't look like he met the criteria for exemption. Attending a performance is not an activity permitted by law. 2014 Oklahoma statutes, crimes and punishment, zone of safety, schools, child care centers, playgrounds, and parks, restrictions on convicted SOs, exemptions. 1. A person shall be exempt from the prohibition of this section regarding a school or a licensed or permitted child care facility only under the following circumstances and limited to a reasonable amount of time to complete such task. The person is the custodial parent or legal guardian of the child who is an enrolled student at the school or child care facility, and the person is enrolling, delivering, or retrieving such child at the school or licensed or permanent child care center during regular school or facility hours, or for school sanctioned or licensed or permanent child care center sanctioned extracurricular activities. Prior to entering the zone of safety for the purposes listed in this paragraph, the person shall inform school or child care center administrators of his or her status as a registered SO. The person shall update monthly or as often as required by school or center information about the specific times the person will be within this zone of safety as established by this section. So I guess he would have had to notify them monthly, which I highly doubt that he did, but
Miss Hooligan, would you do me a huge favor and please drop Rena's channel? It's important to me that people go over and support Rena and what she's doing on her channel. If you guys wouldn't mind, go like a bunch of her videos and leave a nice comment for her. I'd love to see her explode a little bit out there. She's covering some very important things. LFT, where the heck are you?
I hope.
Oh, there you are. There you are.
Is what I'm hoping.
You are there. How proud,
nobody
Grandma
moved.
3. Hi there.
I'm like scared to click over to even look at the chat. I'm scared it'll mess up.
And my friend Outlaw is here. Hi, Outlaw. It's so good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I'm so glad you're here. No problem.
I say hi to all.
I did check my email. Allie, thank you. I did get your email. I did see it. And I'm so sorry you're having such a rough day. Yes, if you'd like to become a member, Nightbot has our lovely memberships listed here. We're so honored to have you if you choose to. Anywho, so do you want to, LFT, do you want to talk about the timeline a little bit? You're like the timeline queen.
Yes, but I have a few questions to make sure that. Oh, wait, is it bad again?
No, not at all. Ask your questions.
Oh, gracious. I was like, I just want, are we set that the girls in terms of, meeting up with Tiffany, going to meet up with Tiffany and spending the day and sleep over with her? From what I gathered from the parent statements, it seems like that happened, like they did not literally go over to spend the night until Saturday. Is that, I just want to make
That's
sure.
what I'm getting. I was under the impression, so Tiffany had a choir thing on Thursday night, assuming they went to school on Friday. Things were okay. The only thing that's weird about Friday is that Holly texted her mom and said that what was the text? That they had dropped all of their phones in a mud puddle.
And all you wouldn't be able to get in touch with them on Friday. And I believe what D. Lynn said what the aunt, she said that
Mm-hmm.
she believes one of the girls was at their house since Thursday night because they had off from school on Friday.
They did have off on Friday. Rena, we're sending you our love,
Okay.
and we understand. And
Yes.
if there's anything that we can do, please do not hesitate to ask. And I'm just going to send you my love and my respect and completely thank you for just being strong enough to even pop in with us. But you are certainly a victim as well. So we understand and we thank you. We thank you very much. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we wanted to I just want to make sure that
No,
we acknowledge her.
no, I'm glad you said that.
She's really important to me. So I need to acknowledge her. So, sorry, go ahead. So Friday, we dropped our phone, all of the entire family's phones in a puddle.
Yeah, like somebody collected all their phones and simultaneously dropped them all in a mud puddle. Like,
that's pretty...
what are the odds? And then they texted back, well, how are you texting us then? And then there was never an answer and all the phones were shut off. They didn't really know what to do about it. Like, they didn't really jump to like immediate conclusions or anything. They were just like, okay, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But that obviously doesn't include, you know, or at least from hearing from Ivy's parents. Obviously, her phone was not dropped in the mud or in that puddle on Friday because she was able to snap with her mom, or I believe it's either her mom or her stepmom. I know it's her biological dad right there, but I don't want to misspeak, but so much. But they were like communicating up until, I think she said, what, around midnight, Saturday night?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
On Snap.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
yes, on Snapchat. And so that, I know it's horrific to think about, but it makes me wonder. I would think that Tiffany would still have to be around because I don't know how he would be able to get, you know, Ivy and Britt, you know what I mean? I don't want to say the word coax them to, you know, hang out. I just feel like at least Tiffany may still have to be around on Saturday. So, like, you know, you keep up appearances, if you will.
Well, they
The
went
only thing that concerned. Did they definitely go to the mall though? Like, do we know if there's pictures or like?
The mom confirmed that they went to the mall in Main Event. I just looked up to see where they were, and Main Event is there's one in Tulsa and there's one in Oklahoma City.
I'm just curious, like, she's going off the snaps that she got, and if they were just messages, or if there was actually like pictures where she knew she was there, or if she physically spoke to her. You know what I mean?
I actually, that's a great question. I don't know.
Because here's what I think is weird too. Every single body was found in a different spot.
I know.
So he could have easily, in my opinion, cornered each person, took their phone, you know, forced them to like let him get in their phone.
Mm-hmm.
Because she even said, Ivy's mom said Sunday she got a strange text from her daughter that didn't sound like her daughter.
Mm-mm.
She said normally her daughter will ask if she can go somewhere, but she texted her and was like, hey, I'm doing this, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. And then later she got a call from Jesse. So it feels like maybe he could have isolated each one.
Which is weird because I don't know if you guys caught that later. The parents of one of the missing girls got a call from Jesse, the alleged kidnapper, alleged murderer, alleged all the terrible, awful things. This bold and brazen piece of shit decided he was going to call the parents. I can't even... I mean, I shudder to think about that because I think to myself, I just spoke to the guy that, and like Ivy's mom, stepmom, I don't know, parent, either way, said, oh my God, I'm losing my chain of thought so badly tonight because I have so many thoughts going through my head. Ivy's mom said, what did she say? Jesus, I don't even know. I have like,
No, you're right.
I don't even know where I was going with it. I can't even imagine how they feel right now.
I think you were going with because you were talking about the phone call that that Jesse had called, and I think I was wondering if where you were going with that was basically like, hey, like everything's fine. Like we, is that when they said something maybe about swimming, like in that, and then
they were gone
again,
out of
the
nowhere
home.
at that point because he called. You know what I mean? Like in my opinion, they were deceased at that point already.
Yes.
And
thank you. Yes.
the concern was, so she said that I believe was Ivy was the one who was there for Friday, right? Or was it Brittany?
I think it was
there?
Ivy, and I think they picked up Brittany on Saturday.
Okay, so here's what the aunt was saying. She said she didn't really have any legit contact with her niece. They didn't have any legit contact with her niece since, was it Thursday or Friday night? I forget. Thursday, I think it was. I think the mud puddle thing was on Thursday.
No, Friday. The mud puddle thing was Friday.
Okay, so she's like, we didn't really actually talk to her since Thursday. So they were worried that he may have killed them Friday and then Saturday maybe pretended to be Tiffany on her phone and went and picked up Brittany himself, like saying like, hey, my stepdad will come pick you up or whatever so you can come over, because she said it was his initial idea for all these girls to come over. Like I guess he had invited them all.
There was a number of girls who were invited.
Yeah, like a couple more that didn't come, but it was supposedly his idea. And she was wondering if Tiffany was with him when they picked Brittany up, because she thinks that they may have been killed Friday. And what's also concerning to me is maybe he had picked her up in that truck and something had went down in that truck, and that's why he asked the neighbor to hide the truck for him.
My theory on that is that he
bothers me.
He was seen with the girls in the truck.
Yeah, maybe that too. Yeah, and he didn't want them to find out. But they had to go over the property with drones, and that's how they ended up finding the bodies all in different places. So it seems like he isolated each and every single one of them in different areas.
And I think that speaks to when you look at the description for when the alert went out for the girls. What caught my eye is they talk about the swimming thing. Brittany is in a bathing suit and shorts, like ready, like she thinks she's going swimming.
It's not even that warm,
I believe.
Yeah, like why would you say they're like? Did you want them to come in like,
she's
a bikini,
in this bathing suit, shorts, getting ready to go, and Ivy, I believe, just had jeans, tennis shoes, and I think they said like a Vans hoodie or something. And so I was like, okay, just
did he text him and be like, hey, make sure you wear your
going
bathing
swimming
suit
and going to the farm.
I know, roll tide, doesn't it? Yes, it was his idea. Apparently he was going out with a bang.
He was not going back to jail.
Yeah, he didn't want to go back to jail, and I think he realized in that court date that his wife was going to know all the bad details about him that he's been hiding from her, because she must have believed in him to an extent in his innocence for her to testify for him. You know what I mean? So like he obviously was feeding her some bullcrap story. Right. And I think it was like he knew he was going back to jail, and he knew she was going to find out, all the details that he had lied. And I think, he took it this far to stick it to the victim and the families to make, like, you caused this. You know what I mean? Like, That's what it feels like to me. Like he wanted to hurt her somehow.
I think he
back.
wanted to hurt as many people as he could.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. He's such. I
think
I want to find out what happened, and I'll be honest with you, I'm so fearful to find out what happened. Because it just takes me back to Stephen Smith, like with the whole being so terrified at your death. Like, I don't know. What did these girls go through prior to? What did Holly go through prior to? And, you know, I don't know. I don't know. So Saturday, do we think that they went to the mall? That's what Ivy's mom said, but I don't know. You're not sure, Cait?
Say it one more time.
they have.
What about the mall? Did they go to the mall?
Yeah. Do you think they went?
I don't know. Like, I feel like if he was, you know, doing all this, you know, calling this person and doing that person, I feel like it could have been him the whole time, just making things up. I would really like to know if they have solid pictures of them at the mall or something like that, because I feel like maybe she's just going off snap messages or something, you know. And
well, when was the phone turned off? Wasn't it 1:30 in the morning? The phone was turned off. Was that Saturday morning or Sunday morning?
I think she said their phone, the mud puddle thing, their phones were turned off right after the mud puddle text.
No, Brittany's phone.
Oh, Brittany's. I'm not sure. I forget when hers was turned off.
Her 360 was turned off at 1:30 a.m. But I don't know which day.
Oh, I thought that was Ivy's.
Okay, maybe it's Ivy. Okay.
I thought, because I think that in my head, and I'll double check when I can move again and know that I'm not going to lose service. I wanted to say, because I wanted to say I want the digital trail of not only Brittany and Ivy's phones, because
if the phones are off, there's not going to be a digital trail.
But they would have it up until the point that it went off, and so
that's why I said, is it Saturday or Sunday that the phone went off?
If we're going off of, if we go off
Sunday morning or 1:30 Monday morning.
If we're going off of based on Ivy's parents, when they spoke of what they said, if you go off that she still had communication, assuming that it is still Ivy, up until midnight Saturday night. Then that was Ivy. After midnight on Saturday, yes, Ivy. Then after
Brittany's
midnight
phone
Saturday,
is the one Brittany's phone is one that was 360 was turned off, not Ivy's.
Okay, so
Brittany's 360 was.
I still thought that was into Saturday. So
if that was into Saturday
night, Sunday morning, was what I was thinking.
That would make sense then. What did you say? Saturday night, Sunday morning? So 1:30
Sunday morning.
1:30 a.m. Sunday.
Sorry, I'm trying to talk after that, the communicate. No, you're fine. And I don't know if I'm over talking or not. So just y'all tell me if I am. My impression would be, because after anything even up to midnight Saturday night, it seems any communication from either Jesse or potentially one of the girls' phones, it was Jesse communicating. It seems that's the belief at the moment. And so that means by Sunday, because remember, they were supposed to come home Sunday certainly, I know Ivy said, her parents said, by 5, just or a little bit early, because school's Monday, just if you can, a little bit earlier, before 5. And so the last 2 communications came from Jesse Sunday. And so that leads me to believe that maybe,
so who was the mom texting with?
They went out Saturday.
Okay, so Ivy was texting her mom on Snapchat. On Saturday night?
Yes. She said
Friday
up until about midnight. Saturday night, up until about midnight Saturday night.
Okay. At that point, that's when the phones were shut off at 1 a.m. or 1:30 a.m.
Yes, I know that I agree. I mean, sorry that I had the wrong victim, but yes, I do believe like that 1:30
Oh,
a.m. ish was the last victim.
oh, to me. No, you don't. No, you freaking don't.
Mm.
You don't. Okay, Cait, please tell the story of the brother. Mm.
Oh, so
To me,
his
would like to know more
brother.
about Jesse's family. Would you like to tell her about Jesse's family?
Yeah, hold on a second. Let me pull up the article. But Jesse's brother
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
had this woman in a dog cage. Here we go. This is Jesse's brother. This was last year. Police said a McAllister man locked a woman in a dog cage and threatened to shoot her with a crossbow before she escaped. Then he refused to leave a residence and allegedly started a fire that killed a dog. He now faces multiple felony charges. Court records show Cody Ray McFadden was charged this week with several felonies, including kidnapping, maiming, domestic assault, and battery with a dangerous weapon, aggravated domestic assault, and battery, arson, and cruelty to animals. McFadden was being held Thursday in Pittsburgh County Jail on a $1 million bond. Wait. He was found incompetent in April to face second-degree arson charge after he set a blanket on fire inside a residence before lighting a vehicle on fire with himself in December of 2020. An affidavit in the case states deputies from the Pittsburgh County Sheriff's Department were called out to a residence on Redbird Drive off State Highway 113 for possible domestic abuse situation. The reported victim, who was found with numerous injuries and bleeding, told deputies that she went to check on McFadden a day earlier and that the man forced her into a dog cage, poked her with a stick, had an extension cord that he tried to shock her with, and that he threatened to shoot her with a crossbow. According to a report, the woman said she escaped from the cage after McFadden struck the cage with an axe so hard that the cage got bent and she was able to get out before escaping the residence through a broken window.
I have a picture of the cage if you want to see it. Puxie, thank you so much for becoming a member. That's really kind of you. Welcome. Okay, check this out.
She thought she was going to die. I bet he swung an axe at the cage. And
it does sound like a criminal mind.
Is that?
Look at this. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wait,
that's
by the
not
way,
okay.
Look at this. Where the hell was she kept? Oh, wait, here's our looker right here. This is our guy.
He doesn't really look like him, but they're brothers apparently. It makes me wonder, like, what kind of family life they had at home for, like, them both to be like. I mean, maybe they're just both, you know, it always could be just they both have mental health issues, but man, that's like two extremes, you know what I mean? Like two very extreme.
Hey, Seth. It's good to see you. I know, blow it up, Risk. You got a match, please? How are you, Seth? Welcome in. It's been a minute since I've seen you. Thank you for coming by. I really appreciate that. That was really nice. Yeah, this is our the brother. He's such a looker. I mean,
I asked the aunt if she can clarify for me if there's proof that they went to the mall. So I'll let you guys know if she answers me while we're
okay. Oh, bless her heart. The aunt is on her. They're traveling, right? Cait had gotten in contact with the aunt again today, and they're traveling. They have an interview with News Nation, and they're traveling, I'm sure, to be with family. And I can't. If she doesn't answer us, like, God bless.
They got a lot.
We'll hear from you at another. Like, they think they got their hands
was just
full.
looking.
They got way more important things to worry about. But I did ask, just.
Also, before I forget, let me get that again. Is we want to drop the I gotta get it. We have their GoFundMe for. He does look like a meth head. I agree. We have their GoFundMe for the funeral for Holly. These people are burying their entire family. For Holly, for Michael, for Riley, for Tiffany. So I'm going to put that in the chat while you guys are discussing stuff. Give me one.
I was just going to say, I was just looking back at one of the Tulsa World articles in Fox 23, and maybe both girls had the 360 because the news anchor Erin Christie wrote they were supposed to go swimming on a ranch in McAllister, but never showed. No one has heard from Ivy, Brittany, Tiffany's brother, or Jesse or his wife, Holly. I spoke to Ivy's mother, who said Ivy's Life 360, a tracking phone service, was turned off.
Damn. This is the link for the family's GoFundMe. Oh, that can't be right. Let me do it properly. For the family's GoFundMe for Holly and her children. And again, we're not going to judge Holly for decisions being made because we don't know what she was going through and what, dear God, what torment she may have been under.
If anything, I think her story is going to be one that people will hopefully learn from in like a beneficial way. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean.
Holy crow, Seth, that was very kind of you. Thank you so much. That was really nice. Thanks. Appreciate you. So I'm going to pin this at the top. This is the fund for Holly, Riley, Michael, and Tiffany's funeral. So far, oh my God, they have $150,000 goal, and they've hit $3,000. So 49 people have donated. Heather is the sister of Holly, and she's the one organizing this.
And I think
I can't imagine burying my grandchildren and my daughter.
No, I can't.
No, and I do believe, I think I saw on Facebook too. I wouldn't be surprised if there's one for Ivy as well, but I believe there's one for Brittany, a GoFundMe up for her
Brittany's
as well.
is being paid for, if I saw this correctly, I think hers is being paid for, let me see.
What'd you say? Hooters?
By Buffalo Wild Wings.
Wild Wings? I said Hooters. I knew it was a wing place, okay?
Yeah. I did see that. Yes, that like the local businesses are chipping in, and
let me see if that's
that was way off. I don't know why I thought that, but I knew it was like a
Buffalo Wild Wings has offered to pay funeral expenses for Brittany. I'm offering to return donations if you want to donate the funds to the Brewer family. So they're still taking donations for the family. They have a $10,000 goal, and they've reached $1,500, almost $1,600. But it looks like Buffalo Wild Wings, and good for them. That's really amazing. Now Ivy, let's look up Ivy's. I don't have hers.
Can you guys send me the links for them too if you find them?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I had them. I kept texting them to Tia last night, and then I was like, I am so sorry. I'm sending you like 14,000 messages in a row. So I created them all in my notes section, and I'm happy to pass it along. But
good. Okay, so they got Ivy's family has received 6,000 of their 30,000. Oh God. And look at this person donated $1,000. Damn. Okay, we're gonna put all of these in the chat.
A GoFundMe, actually the article, a GoFundMe page in memory of Brittany Brewer has been set up to assist with funeral expenses. Da, 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 da. I just saw something else that I wanted to tell y'all that I was like, oh.
This is Ivy's GoFundMe.
They still haven't. They obviously still haven't confirmed necessarily, from the coroner and medical examiner, that whole process of, releasing the identities and causes of death. But it appears the family has been told. I think everyone knows kind of what happened. And I think they all unfortunately did pass away, but in the same manner, same.
I agree.
Same weapon of choice, but in different areas.
Yeah, the aunt did tell Cait that they had to get dental records for some of the IDs, so that's frightening to me.
I know.
That's really frightening to me. Remembering
I'm,
that these are all
to find
kids.
out like what actually went down. I really hope it wasn't.
I know. Well, that's what my biggest fear
it's horrific to begin with, but I hope it's not like,
yep,
the worst case scenario.
That's exactly what I was like. How can I pray for quickness? Can I pray that he wasn't the most evil? I don't.
And what's so sad, I was reading some more of what Holly's mom has. She's been pretty vocal, and I'm glad that she's sticking up for her daughter. I thought one of the best quotes I saw when what'd she say? Like, if you want to come after my daughter, she's like, you talk to me. In terms of judging, Holly, like we are saying, you can't.
Well, initially,
don't know all the ins and outs, but
I think we all probably placed a little judgment on Holly. I mean, let's be real. I think we all kind of went, what the hell is she doing with him? First of all, she's gorgeous. What the hell was she doing with him?
I know. That's what, as soon as I pulled up her Facebook last night, I was like, what in the heck?
What the hell is she doing with him? Yeah. But not in a judgmental way, we don't know. I know it appears to me from some of the research that I've done on where she's lived previously, she didn't have a lot of money. So perhaps he offered some stability for her that she was needing for her kids.
Yeah, he had a giant, farm that was his grandparents. I guess that he lived there, and it was a big property. And like I said, who knows? He could have threatened her and told her, if you leave me, whatever. He sounded very controlling. I mean, he pulled her 17-year-old daughter out of school.
That's what I was going to say earlier. Yes.
Yeah, for texting a 17-year-old boy her age. And it was like almost like he was jealous or something.
Like a jealous boyfriend.
And ripped her out of school and made her do homeschooling, which is just crazy to me. It sounded like he was very controlling, and maybe, he scared them a little bit.
And who knows how cruel he was.
What if he said, if you leave me, I'll kill your kids or I'll kill your family? You never know what someone's saying to somebody, or, what's going on behind closed doors. Maybe in her mind, she was like, if I leave him, he'll hurt my family, or, you know what I mean? You don't really know the situation. It's hard. I think at first glance, you're like, oh my gosh, how could this person be with this guy? But I did, right away, I had questions like, how long were they together? Did she really know? You know what I mean? Because, people lie all the time, especially in those situations, and try and make it seem like it's not as serious as it is, or, whatever. And, who knows what was going on. But the more I found out,
if they did.
The more I found out, the more I was like, oh yeah, they weren't together that long. She probably didn't even know him long enough to know that he's, fairly mentally unstable. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
you know, when you're with someone for a while and you start, to see those red flags, and this wasn't that long, I feel like, for her to,
No, and it
learn these
sounds
things.
like she was pregnant. Did they get married because she was pregnant?
Maybe because of the twin. Yeah, that could be too. Maybe,
Did things get rushed because of that?
Well,
Hi Foxfire. Thanks for
yeah,
coming in. That's so nice of
maybe
you.
maybe
I'm just
she got caught up with him, got pregnant, and then was like, what am I going to do
right.
now? I'm pregnant. I need a place to stay. And, I believe she got divorced in 2022. So,
I think
mhm.
she divorced and remarried pretty quickly. Yes, Lori, he did. Punk ass little bitch.
and
And
look, I think a lot of people coming out of relationships don't always make, when you're like, you come out of a serious relationship and
Oh
you're like
yeah.
not mentally well, and you make some, stupid decisions between your
Mhm.
next, like, real good relationship. Who knows? It could
Right.
have been one of them situations. Sorry, Alfie, I didn't mean
no, you're fine. I was just thinking, I mean, so far, at least even hearing, Dylan on your, I mean, I'm calling everyone by their usernames, but on her talk to you last night, it seems that Holly like adored her children regardless, and that even they were like they would never think, that she would intentionally put herself nor her children, at the very least her children, in any kind of position, that would put them or herself in danger. And I think the way that I was just looking back at, I didn't want to misquote her mother, Janet, that has spoken out. And they just keep saying, my daughter, obviously, she loved her children. And yes, she married the man who KILLED them, but she was fooled by his charm. And I think that seems to be the running sentiment through the family right now. It was something she was wooed in a way that was apparently believable, and
Well,
then it's like, yeah.
I want to go back to, and I agree. She was fooled. There's no question. But I want to go back to his family and some of the questions that we have there, because if it's true, and the aunt is correct, that he told his mom he was going to do all this,
Mhm.
the
why
mom
did he?
called their family and told them, like, he called me the night before and told me he was going to do this, and they told her stop calling them. Like,
Like,
she
why not
called
call the
them and
police?
told them that.
Why not call the police? You know
Yeah,
what I'm
or
saying?
yeah, that's what I would do. I mean, if someone's threatening killing a whole family, then yeah. And um, the aunt answered me back. She said they didn't go to the mall, and that is a fact.
Thank you.
Mhm. Okay, they did or
And
did
she
not.
said
I'm so sorry. My
2 of the autopsies have been completed, Michael and Riley, so far, but
Okay.
I don't know, like,
And
the outcome of them.
I actually just read too, from Michael and Riley's other grandmother. Um, I didn't realize this. I'm literally reading this as I'm talking to y'all, but she's now speaking out too. So she's saying, my son has lost his daughter and son. My other kids have lost their niece and nephew. My other grandkids have lost their cousins. Riley and Michael have 4 other siblings who will never know them.
Oh man, that's a
And
sick.
so I just this wave. I mean, there's no doubt if something happens in a family, the ripples affect so many. But I mean, I'm a
So
product.
the fact
I've
they
got.
didn't go to the mall, I think that was
Mhm.
him saying
I
all
do
that
too.
noise.
Now that was my hang up, was I guess I had hoped, but
Yeah.
now everything leads me to believe what the aunt said on yours last night, that they were killed
Yeah.
probably Friday. Or God, that gives me anxiety. I
But then
can't.
why
Oh,
are? But then can y'all help me understand why the parents, though, in terms of Brittany and Ivy, all the reports and from what they've said was that they went over on Saturday. Like that's where I need to
Because I
know
think Brittany
where
did
I'm
go
not
over
reading it.
Saturday.
Yeah, I think he went and picked
Okay.
Brittany up himself. I think he
Okay.
texted Brittany from Tiffany's phone
Mm-hmm.
and was like, "Hey, do you want to come over? My stepdad will come pick you up." And like, I'm gonna stay here with Ivy, but I'll see. He's coming.
Yeah,
to
see you
get
when you get here. Also, looking at some of these addresses, you just gave me these addresses, and one is right down the street on Holly Road. I say right down the street, but I mean that could be.
Yes, that would be Ivy's. I don't, and they're the ones too that I've said, I mean, Ivy and Tiffany really truly were like best friends, and she spent time over there several times before. And I know in one article they quoted it kind of like, a police statement, spent nights over there before without incident. Yes, of course, without incident, but also like the parents were comfortable enough.
So literally, this is like right down the road.
Mm-hmm. And even the Tiffany's grandmother, I believe, at least Janet, Miss Mayo, even was very much aware of who Ivy was because of how close she and Tiffany were. And she also had she said she didn't know, obviously, Brittany as well, but she had to be pretty special if she was that close with her granddaughter. Like, she has no doubt in her mind that, it just breaks my heart. And now I'm looking at Cody's McFadden stuff, and you've got to be kidding.
I know. He's a treat that keeps giving the whole family. How lucky for us.
How terrifying.
It makes me think.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh. No, you go ahead, Cait.
If that was the case, like if he did kill them all and then like asked Brittany to come over on Saturday later, like how terrifying.
I know. What did she walk into?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
what the hell did she walk into? I can't even imagine. I can't, first of all, I can't. Like, what the hell? What did he do to get these people all on different parts of the property? Like, what the hell did he do? How did you
charmed them?
But then there's got to be, and I don't want to say this, but like a shot heard.
That's the weird part to me is like, how do you separate?
That's what I'm trying to.
All these people without someone escaping or.
You have to have a major level of control here.
Or like some kind of like doing it all one at a time in like a secret way, like maybe pull one out of bed. Or pull each one out of bed as they're sleeping and take them somewhere. I don't know how. It's really bizarre. Like I don't. Because you would think if he had taken one person away and they, suspected something, they would run and call them.
Right. And especially Ivy living somewhat close. I say somewhat in the Oklahoma close. I mean, it could be a mile down. I'm looking at a map here. Could be a mile. It could be 3/4 of a mile. It could be half a mile. It could be half a block. I don't know. I'm looking from the air. But it's not far as the crow flies. I don't know how far it's a long walk, but it doesn't appear as though.
But that's what gets me. That's why I said. I mean, I know eventually I would think that some details will come out, but I'm so curious, and I know this sounds awful, but it's like you got Michael in the mix of this. Like, granted, he's a fit 15-year-old, and seems like from his Facebook, like, and to have another male there, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but you know what I mean? Like, I feel like when did people have last communication with him? I want to know when, like, his cell phone like stopped for whatnot. Was that done, like y'all said? How early on was it? Kind of, I gotta say, I envision it kind of like staged out a little bit, like not all at the same time, or like one after another. Like,
Well, Michael and Ivy were boyfriend and girlfriend, correct?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what Lynn said last night, and someone else said that as well, I want to say. I mean, not only that's even worse. Not
Oh,
only
God,
then
yeah.
do you have a child who is over at her best friend's house and then gracious, and then in this adorable little, I mean, I remember what it was like being in, 7th to 9th grade, go to like those ages. So I don't know how much like real, girlfriend, boyfriend, but yeah, like and so that's what I mean. So how do you keep Michael away? And then do you keep Tiffany around so that you can lure, like, then that gives you a way to kind of lure and make it like realistic, like, hey, let's all go hang out. We're going to go work go to the farm, go swimming. And then like what Tia said about the temperature too, and I felt so bad because I just looking at the missing person, the alert for the girls, and you see just someone who's literally like has a bathing suit on, thinks she's going with her friend, and
it wasn't that
one
warm,
of the
guys. It was only
parents
like
was
70
saying,
degrees tops. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't like 90 degrees where you're like, whoo, gonna need to cool off. No. Hi, crazy mama.
yes.
Welcome home.
I just can't believe, like, now it, like, that had to have been him Snapchat.
That's what I'm wondering too now.
I would feel so gross. You know what I mean? If my child was murdered by him, and to think, like, all night when I was communicating, thinking it was
the fact
my
that
child
he
and it was this guy.
Mm-hmm, and the fact that he called them.
Ugh.
I mean, that's sadistic. That's really sadistic. Like
he's a total monster.
He knew exactly what he was doing from the get-go. Like, and I'm shook for this family, knowing the vibrations that are going to be going through them forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, and
with what
to
this
think, there could have been more victims,
Yes. I mean, I guess in that aspect, we're lucky that there weren't more victims, but he annihilated an entire family.
Yeah.
Plus 2 friends.
But
one thing I will say is that so far, I have to say the victims' families, the surviving family members and loved ones, seem pretty. It's almost, there's something very admirable about it that they recognize this was orchestrated. Like, I feel like I want to say Brittany's mom, I think in Texas, even referenced something about that too, and hearing Ivy's dad say it, like he planned this. And actually, to quote him, he said he wanted to hurt the people he loved the most. He was going to act out on the world and take out as many as he possibly can. And I think that's what's admirable about that, though, that they are all realizing, and like they said too, we're so glad that there weren't more, because there could have been. And I think that's a pretty admirable thing and just commendable thing to be saying and to be wrapping your head around at a time of such a significant loss.
Yeah.
And
Nina said, what was the phone call made to them? She missed that part. The phone call, he called Sunday afternoon, Ivy's parents or Ivy's mom, and said that they were still out in McAllister.
Can we play that by chance? That clip?
Well, yes is always the answer, but if you can give me 1 second, talk amongst yourselves while I find. We're talking about Ivy's parents, correct? That one?
Yes, the one from,
okay,
and we'll post all the links in the description and everything.
Ashley and Justin Webster, and sorry for let me get this.
It broke my heart though, seeing Brittany's mom, who was, I guess, obviously, and I'm a product too. I've got my parents, my step-parents, step-sibling, but it's all one and the same at the end of the day. And to see her mom just so torn up, and she's in Texas. It's like
Mr. Worth, thank you very, very much. That's super kind of you. Thank you.
I'm so sorry I haven't said
Let me
anything
do
to
this.
anybody in a chat, but I'm really scared to click the button over while I have a connection. The only thing I'll do is hit mute and unmute. But hi.
All right, here, I'm going to start this.
And watch me, Nene.
Why you wanted to go back there this morning?
I wanted to see her. I wanted answers. I wanted to go on.
Can you guys hear this okay? Anybody? LFT?
Yes, it gets louder in a second. It did this when we played it.
Okay,
earlier.
I just need to make sure you guys can hear it, though.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
get the answers myself, and I know I can't. But we need to be told the answers of everything here soon. I'm tired of hearing. We can't know right now, and it's frustrating. We need to know. Everybody needs to know.
Can you kind of tell us, this weekend, I know you were contacted, just kind of talk about how the events unfolded and how you learned about everything.
Well, she was supposed to be home. Now,
Start from the beginning.
okay, so Saturday, she was going out. They were going to go to the mall and then main event, which they did, and spend the night. And as far as we know, it was,
As they've done before.
yeah, Ivy and Brittany are going to Tiffany's. So nothing out of the ordinary. Me and Ivy were Snapchatting up until about midnight Saturday night. And then Sunday, I got a message from her, which was a little different, but I didn't think nothing of it. It was, hey, we're going to run to McAllister. We have to go. Jesse's got to work on like the ranch or flight fence, whatever, which they've gone before. So again,
Notice what the subject matter is every time. It's the subject matter is they're talking about Jesse. Jesse's coming to get me. Jesse's got to go to this. I'm like, these girls spend a lot of time talking about Jesse. Just saying.
Not the Uncle Jesse from Full House.
Didn't get that, but it didn't think much. I said, okay, try. She said, we'll give them by 5. I said, okay, if you can a little earlier because, school's on type thing. Okay, I'll let you know type thing. No, I love you. No, none of that. Then I get a call from Jesse a little while, about 5 or so, saying, oh, yeah, we're still out here in McAllister. Phone's really cutting out. Not getting good service. I said, okay, keep you updated. And that was the last contact. I believe the bills were already gone at that.
This is new information that you guys are sharing with us.
Yes. They never made it to McAllister. So.
He planned it, and when he sent that text or call or whatever to what's her name, the girl that he made contact with when he was in jail, the reason why he was going to court, we were supposed to go to court yesterday. He told her that what's going to happen is going to be all her fault. So he planned it ahead of time.
Why do you feel that your daughter was involved in his?
I feel the evil in him wanted to get back at the world, and he wanted to hurt the people that he loved most. And our daughter was best friends with Tiffany, his daughter, and they were inseparable. They did everything together, and I think he just wanted to act out at the world and take as many as he possibly can. We're finding out that there was some other girls that were contacted to go out that day as well, and some of them didn't go, but it could have been a lot worse.
So obviously, he's going to court and all these things. I mean, you kind of seem like you're maybe a little bit upset with the law enforcement. Kind of talk to me about that. I mean,
He should have been stuck in jail. He should have rotted in there from the get-go.
especially if he was sneaking phones in and
He snuck a phone in jail and solicited with a minor in jail
was still released.
and was still released. If that's not any proof that he can't be controlled, then I don't know what is. And Oklahoma County Jail and McAllister and Pittsburgh County, they need to be held accountable. They do. We need answers of why this monster was released to be able to hurt kids.
Yeah. LFT, I don't know if you saw it. Hold on a second. Let me get out of here. Switch.
That I need a prison issued phone.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
I don't want to go through the steps to have to get that, though.
Hold on one sec.
I'll go back outside where I have better connection. I'll go stand outside again closer to the router. Will say I can eat as many Cheerios as I like when I'm muted and can't say as much. Really?
Oh my
Okay,
gracious.
maybe I will click and look at chat. Let's see what.
I got that, Cait.
I know, it made me laugh a little.
I'm glad. Hey, congratulations, Miss Madam. God bless them. I have my heart has
He is a
been.
POS.
Oh, it's
He
beyond
told
that
them
though.
that they're
He's
still at
sadistic.
McAllister.
He's
He said
sadistic.
they're still at McAllister. No.
You said they were still at the farm? Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's what I just wrote that down because I said the last call from Jesse. I had written down earlier, Cait and Tia, when we did a little research session, and I'd wrote down like call from Jesse around 5 or so, last contact, and then hearing it again that he said, we're still at McAllister, and that was around 5 o'clock, and something about not the best service. I recognize that. I think he's a POS for using.
I wonder if he was going to try and
really
run.
Do have
like initially.
Never. I don't think so.
No, and also before he was caught, wasn't it on your panel that we heard that right before he was caught the last time he was caught on a riverbank with his wrists bleeding?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, the last time he got caught.
So he's not a stable individual to begin with. We all know that. That's given.
I forgot about that.
God, I'm just in my head. I'm going through like the being pregnant with twins, married, 3.
There was so much information that I'm like forgetting even some of it. Like
already, I know,
yeah.
I know, and I don't want to disrespect and forget something, but I at the same time I don't want to put every single thing that we've learned out there yet, because I'm afraid. You know what I mean? I feel like we should let the dust settle. I mean, not that we're not going to put everything out there, but I feel like as in respect to the family, let's let the dust settle and report it as after they hear it, not before they hear it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Report it as it comes.
I have a question for
from
y'all.
them. Yeah.
Okay, because as I was like, well, we'll know at trial. No, we won't. But no, we won't.
Well, because they're minors.
But I'm wondering.
Well, there's no trial.
There's no trial.
Not only that, but there's no So, but do you think the parents of these, any one of these family members, as surviving family members and victims,
civil suit?
Do you do like a civil suit or wrongful death against the county or how?
I mean, I think they could. Well. I would have to look up the laws, but I feel like I want to know why he was released from prison. One. Yeah. 2, was he allowed to live there with them? Like by law? I think by law it is, but I'm not 100% sure.
I saw what you saw too, Cait. I saw what you, when I read the law in Oklahoma in terms of, yes, that technically, yes, legally, in terms of a bloodline child or a child
by marriage,
via marriage, whether it be something that,
Risk wants to know if you're using AOL or something.
You've got mail. How bad does it sound?
It doesn't sound bad. You're fine.
It doesn't sound
better
bad.
than
I hear you fine.
Civil suit against the property owners. Maybe that's what I thought too, against McFadden's mom and dad, especially, dear God, if they know.
Yeah. Maybe this will make them change.
I was going to say, I think there's going to be a list of people that are going to be trying to be held accountable. And I don't blame anybody for doing anything that they have to do right now. I encourage you to support it. Our channel supports it. you know.
Oh, that's a good point. Against the mother, could they do that because he told her
Mhm.
that and she didn't do anything
That's what I
about
was
it?
wondering.
And
I was wondering.
she gave him that.
She allowed the opportunity to happen.
But she gave him
The gun.
weapon. Yeah, the gun.
I
wonder
forgot about that.
because he wouldn't be allowed to have one.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, he can't have one. That is one of the laws there.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
if she
you
gave it
can't
to
have
him, oh
just
yeah,
that.
there's definitely
Mhm.
grounds for a civil suit against her if she unlawfully gave him.
I wonder if she can be held criminally responsible.
That's a good question too. I don't know.
It's Cait, what's the case? Remember, like the other, not in Oklahoma. Where was it? Where what the whole family took out the other family, and the like went in, they killed like all 8 of
Ohio.
them, or I don't excuse me. Yes, but I followed it. Remember, I was telling you about it, Tia. I was like, this is. I know Jim Lou covered the trial.
Yeah, it was in Ohio.
Oh, the Pike County Massacre?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah.
I all of a sudden, like when I think of this grandmother, like in terms, and this is just me talking and spitballing, but like right now in my head, it's kind of like, it's something like, something's going on. Not that she was a part of it in any way, like to the extent of the Pike County ones. But do you know what I mean? Like kind of,
No.
it's like are you turning a blind eye? Are you turning a blind eye? Or you're aware of it, but you still love your boys, and you've heard rumors about it, but you don't believe it, kind of
The
deal.
Pike County,
like, and you kind of
that case is like turn a blind eye times 80,000. That case was,
but
their parents
that case
just lied for them, and
mhm.
yeah.
And I don't mean to say they are those people. I'm just saying that's what it made me kind of think of in terms of like parents who are just like or say they're so elderly or something, and it's like you just don't want to, like your sons are, oh, they've been in some trouble, but they're good boys, that kind of.
Yeah, but you know what? I think there's a lot of
thinking, but
who are we saying this about? I'm not sure
I
who we're
think
talking
there's a lot of mothers who
Jesse
like
and Cody's parents
enable their children and even though they do terrible things, they're still like, oh well, my son is not responsible for that. It's her fault. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe it was one of those situations where they blamed everyone else but their kids type deal.
Kids. And they're willing to.
But yeah, the parents aren't that old. The mom's only 59.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I know.
So like his mom's only 59?
I was giving her. They're young. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt, like they were having that just like older like the mentality of like a 79, 82-year-old parent looking at their kids and just being like, no, they're still good boys. That's me being like giving them the benefit of the doubt because I don't understand that. Like what you just said too, that he told her.
We're not giving anybody except the victims, and these people are victims too. So we need to keep that in mind. They are victims as well, but she'll have a list of charges. Ooh, let's see. Let's see what Nina Bina has to say.
Yes.
If my computer will work, that'd be awesome. She'll have a list of charges: supplying a gun to a felon, begin with 2, not reporting the death threats. Yep. I wonder. It'd be very interesting to see. But we're going to be following.
Is that property technically? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Is that that property? I know it comes up when you research it, like Jesse's name and Holly's name is listed on for the address and stuff. But is that technically his parents' property?
I think it was the grandparents that owned it. Right? Isn't it his grandparents that own that property?
I think that's right. I wanted to say it's someone like it's family property. So
yeah, I think it's his grandparents property that own it. Mm-hmm. It's family property regardless, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's awful. We're going to be following this with Cait. We started it at the same time. So we're going to be, if she gets something, hopefully she'll send it over to us to report, and vice versa. We'll give her whatever research we have so that she can, if the family needs anything or we can do anything to help her, please let us know.
Send whatever I find out.
Yeah, I just, this is a tough one. This is a very
True crime in general right now, like, is just, it's been very heavy the past few months. Like, there's so many,
I agree.
just cases of, like, I just think this is so important, like such a, like a lesson right now. If you look at true crime for the past like month, all the stuff that has happened, like all the things in the spotlight are cases, you know, of parents who let somebody into their lives that were unwell and not fit to be parents.
Agreed.
And you know, do your homework, be very protective of your kids. You know, if there's red flags, go with your gut. Like, I mean, Letitia Stout, the stepmother who killed her stepson, Chad Daybell with Lori, and then you have Oakley Snow, her mom's abusive boyfriend, and then we have that. Did you see that case of that guy's daughter? His wife killed his daughter to piss the mom off, and she stuck her in a bucket and left it on the mom's front lawn.
You were the one that told me about that. That was unbelievable.
It's like,
I saw the video. The video is frightening. You could see her walking down the street with it,
with a wagon with the bucket in it. It's just like, you know, be more aware of these things, and not, it's not all black and white. You know what I mean? There's people who lie and, you know, show things a different way, but, you know, trust your gut.
Trust your gut is right. I agree.
And, you know, go with it. If there's red flags, take them seriously, because, you know,
trust your gut.
Yeah.
I really agree with that. Did someone say they had a warrant to search just the house Holly and the kids lived in, but nothing else on the property? That is accurate. They can only search the house and that was because the property wasn't under the search warrant. He doesn't have any rights as an SA offender, so they could go right into the house and search the house, but they needed the warrant to search the actual property. And unfortunately, the property is where the bodies were found. But yes, that is true.
Yeah. They're doing.
I was confused at first because I was going to ask y'all about that, because I know that when he missed court that morning, a bench warrant was immediately issued for him too. So he had two. And I was going to say, do we get any clarification? Because I would have thought when they realized that these two minors, when they realized who they were last seen with, and knowing that, you know, he's an offender, I didn't know if the warrant was like, if that kind of triggered it, if it was also, or if the bench warrant was just totally irrelevant, because I just didn't know.
Say that again?
The
bench warrant was relevant because he was dead.
When he didn't show. No, I know, but they issued one that, like, I know.
Well, his failure to appear, you automatically get a bench warrant.
Correct.
When you fail to appear.
Didn't know if they were acting on that before the alert went out at 10:29.
Oh, no, I think the girls were the alert. I don't think. You know, I think the missing girls were the missing and endangered girls were the alert to go to the property. Because they were last seen with him, right? That's how I took it.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They
Are
were
you going-
able to get the search warrant after they did the drone thing. I
Are
think. They
you
weren't-
going live at 10, Cait?
No, I'm good. I'll go. I'm gonna go live tomorrow. I'm not gonna
Okay.
go live tonight. But News Nation,
Mm-hmm.
I think, is doing an interview with them at 10. I don't know if it airs at 10, but she said it's at 10. So I don't know if you guys like. wanna look out
Usually
for
it's at 10, but I didn't
Yeah.
know if you were going to go live, then I was going to shoo everybody over there so you could cover it.
I mean, I could stream it if they're.
Yeah.
Maybe I could do that. I could throw that up. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. I could
Okay.
do that.
Okay.
I'll stream their
The News
interview.
Nation.
Yeah, and she did say that her and Holly's mom, that they'll try and come up on my panel later. I like that we'll figure it out, but I know they're like going through so much right now, and that's like the least of my worries compared with what everything they have going on. But if they do, I will
We'll be
make
there to
sure-
support.
yeah,
We'll be there to support.
let everyone know
Yes.
in advance and all that. But I
Yeah,
don't.
we'll definitely be there to support and share. And like I said, the GoFundMe links are in our chat. We will be putting them in the description. The Holly, Riley, Michael, and Tiffany GoFundMe is pinned. If you'd like to make a donation there, I'm sure the family would be super grateful. They have a ton they're dealing with, and the last thing they should be worried about is money and paying for funerals right now. So we're going to continue to share that information out on a daily basis. So you may get sick of hearing and seeing it, but I don't really care. We're just going to continue sharing that stuff, and we're going to rotate and share everybody's.
And
but
if they do come on, you guys are welcome to come up and ask questions. So
Oh, thank you. We just want to be supportive and help as much as we can without interfering. And I don't know. My heart is it's hurting. Looking at my kids and looking at these kids and knowing that they're all around the same age is just, dear God.
Yeah, it hits hard when like the Stout case hits hard for me because my son's young, and like it reminds me of it, and man, that's like drives me crazy.
I know. Well, thank you for joining us, madam. I'm
Thank
so
you for
grateful.
having
And
me.
if everyone could go over to Cait Does Crime at a little before 10,
I'm set up for like 10:50.
Okay. She's going to stream the News Nation, and hopefully we can get some more information from that. But I want to thank everybody for being here tonight and being so respectful. Please keep all of the family, victims of the family. Please keep all the victims and their families in your prayers and in your thoughts. And if you possibly can make a donation, we will supply you with all the links to do so. Thank you for those who have become members tonight. That was so nice of you. We're so grateful. Honest to God, we are so grateful. And thank you for the donations that you gave to us tonight. I'm blown away and very, very grateful.
Yes.
Decipher will be donating to each one of these causes to try and help wherever we can too. And if you talk to them, Cait, please let us know if there's anything else that we can do as far as information, time, money, whatever sharing that they need. But thank you everyone for being here. Everybody go over to Cait's before 10 and catch her broadcast, and we will talk to you probably tomorrow night. Enjoy your evening, and thanks for all being here. Thank you, Cait.
Thank you for having me.
you so
See you
much.
later.
Bye. Oh, LFT, look, they arrested the Texas gunman. Breaking news. There's
Thank
your breaking
goodness.
news. Risk finally comes in with some, besides Risk is here, he's got the news.
Risk
That
out
was
the
right.
news.
Just
All right, you guys, have a great night. Thank you.
See ya.
thank y'all.